Testing 1, 2. For people to play. Testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Dun, 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 dun. I think I'm live. A Stream Element bot is running. Inviting all grinders to the house. I'm gonna hear it again. Ouch! 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 Sony Ness. What's up, PlayStation 5 Ultimate? Let's crack a cold one. What's up, Sam Ash? How you doing? This is an impromptu one. I've been trying to get my OBS to work. I don't know if you guys want to. Hold on. Hear these friggin' technical issues that I've been having. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Oof. Anyway. It's been a crazy day. To say the least. At least on Twitter, if you haven't been there. So, dudes, I want to do a quick show. And then I'm going to take whoever wants to come with me. And we're going to jump over to What Grinds My Gears 7780 over on the Twitch. And I'm going to stream some. I want to do some SpellBreak because I'm going to talk about that game a little bit. And then maybe Gears. I know Merc has been tapping me on the shoulder, wants to jump into Gears. So maybe I'll do some Gears. But definitely follow me over on Twitch. The link is in the description below at What Grinds My Gears 7780. We're bringing the gameplay over there. With commentary, of course. Like, that's the thing you get with Grinds My Gears. Like, it never stops. We got our show, What Grinds My Gears, but even when I play my games, you get that sash, you get that soundboard. So definitely check me out over there. Because I'm tired of YouTube taking my sound clips and telling me that I have copyright strikes and all that other rigmarole. I want to play my Glorious. I want to play my Benny Hill. I can't play it here. They get me. So I'm definitely going to bring that over to the Twitch land to use those sound clips over there. Because every time YouTube's yelling at me, I don't like getting yelled at. So, anyway. So what I wanted to do is basically a sorry, not sorry type thing. Oh, man. So let me tell you what happened. There's been crazy stuff going on. It's been, 5-alarm fire. It's been kind of crazy today. Or what's been going on. With a clip, as you know, grinders, that you have, that I've been playing. I had it on my soundboard. Booty lived on my soundboard. So did Phil. They got rid of them when they did my Windows update. They deleted them from my downloads. What's up to Floyd? How you doing? Just grinding my PS4 Gears. That sounds great. Thank you. So, anyway. So, the reviews have been trickling out. So, as you know from my stream here and also, what I streamed at on Twitch. Again, follow me over on Twitch. What Grinds My Gears 7780. On the path to affiliate. That's my goal. To get there. Nice. Persona 5. I still got Persona. Before I get into it, I still have Persona 5. The original one. I bought it when I got my PlayStation. It's still in the plastic. I got to play it. But I just got to get around to it. I've been playing. I just keep buying games. I just bought. Again, I do 2 more games I purchased. So I'm still playing those now. Insane. So, it's in the plastic. I got that. And I also have what else? I have. Hear this. I got Morse still in the plastic for VR. I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey still in the plastic. And Tetris Effect. Those are the kind of ones. So, anyway, so what triggered today? So, basically what happened today is that... So, as you know, and I've been playing Bleeding Edge. I streamed it on this channel. I streamed it over on Twitch. And then I also gave my commentary on Ultra Preset Podcast on Tuesday night. So, from what I played, again, like, my impressions of it is that it is not, and be clear, guys, it is not a a bad game. Like, I think a lot of people just running around saying it's trash. Like, again, it's it's not like it's not broken. It's not like it doesn't function. And actually, the good things is that the game actually has some pretty cool character design. The characters are pretty cool, from what they designed. But the thing is that, as I stated before, it lacks depth. It lacks content, progression, things that keep you hooked, especially in a multiplayer only game. And even there's 2 game modes. There's 4 5 maps. The maps are very open. There's a couple of elements that are cool, like for the trains and things like that. But otherwise, it's kind of lacking. Empty environments, really. So there's a lot not going for it, and the reviews have been slow. It came out to like just silence. It was stealth dropped in Game Pass. Just Ninja Theory and a Phil Spencer thank you, pat on the back. And that was it. It was like, good luck, and it goes into Game Pass. So the game is not terrible. Like, I it's not bad, but will it keep me hooked? And it's not. And the thing is now the reviews start coming out. There's like only like 3 or 4 reviews out there for this game, and I understand it's a multiplayer only game, so therefore, I could see why there's a delay. People want to test the servers and stuff, and I haven't got kicked out of any servers or anything like that. So the online's been pretty solid for it. And again, I streamed it here. The first stream was kind of rough, and then I streamed it over on Twitch, and then I brought some highlights. I brought the thing over here, so I got some Twitch. Check that out over there. I saved it on my replay, but I think the characters, the movement is super slow still, from the beta. I feel like that it's just so slow. I feel like even when you switch to a hoverboard or switch to the fast speed, like, you're not going any faster. It seems like everybody's in molasses, and it becomes a clusterfuck at the areas. Like, everybody's just spamming the button. And one of my biggest criticisms when I was playing it is that for a game that's focused on melee combat, there is just one attack button. That's it. Like, there's no heavy, there's no light attack. It's just smash the attack button, and then you got 3 cooldown specials. And one's like an area effect, one's like a stun, and one's kind of like a dodge type thing. And then you get your ultimate. What's up, Social? How you doing? Wound Up, how you doing? Sam Ash, what's up? Transformers G, how you doing, man? Hit that like button, share it out. We're gonna do a grinds here, and then we're all gonna jump over to Twitch. I'm gonna start streaming some of the games that I'm talking about. So, and the links in the chat, and the links in the thing, the description. Yeah, so let me tell you what happened. The Coon, what's up, man? How you doing? So the reviews came out, and they've been 65. There's been a 70. 65 from Destructoid. So yeah, we're sitting around the 77 area for this thing. And again, I look at not just the scores, but what's bringing the score down. And it's similar to exactly what I said. Give them a passion score, right? Yeah, the hoverboard's cool, but the hoverboard should make you go a lot faster. So it's just interesting that you have this thing to make you go faster, but they should just make you sprint. I don't understand it. So I played it, and the thing is that I just feel like, again, if you read the reviews, a few that are out there, the one that hit today was from Eurogamer. And, oh, nice. Kiwami won, and Westworld. I got to binge watch Westworld. I just signed up for HBO. I got to watch it for the Westworld. So what happened is that Eurogamer comes out, and it says, this game has potential. However, in the state that it is in right now regarding content, control, characters, levels, modes, it is just Game Pass filler, if that. And this is a professional website saying this, calling it Game Pass filler. I was not filter, filler. So you don't want to hear that about a first party game, right? You don't want to hear that.
Let Mortal Kombat begin.
You don't want to hear that as a first-party game. You're the one that's supposed to be demoing how the service is value. This has to be something that, yeah, right? Transformers is the last exclusive before the next generation. Yeah. Like, Ori has been great, but Ori is not from Xbox Game Studios. You know? Yeah, that was their exact word. So, let me get this here. Where is it here? Eurogamer and yeah, and this is just let me just highlight this because it's something that again it's something, and again this is just me viewing it. Again, if you don't agree, you don't agree, and I'm not saying you have to agree with me. It's just my observation. So this is the review from Eurogamer. It says Bleeding Edge review: fun fighting let down by Bare Bones launch. Now, I'm not going to drop names. Well, we will. But look at the first sentence. Bleeding Edge could be on something with meaningful updates, but at launch, it's Xbox Game Pass filler at best. And they go on to say a lot of the things where it's just lacking content, lacking features and things like that you expect in a game like this. And there's 11 characters at launch. There's 3 roles. It's very bare bones. And again, it's on Xbox One PC. There were 250 people playing it at launch on Steam. 250 concurrent players. And the character design is great. And what I want to do is just kind of, again, this is... So what I said was on Twitter was... It's just a shame that Ninja Theory went to this. So like that Ninja Theory went from Acclaim Awards on with Hellblade to getting something where they're called basically Game Pass filler at best. And this is the first game that they're launching under the publisher of Xbox Game Studios, you know? And I understand that this was, you know, passion project, and it was already oh damn, I don't want to do that. It was already in like development when Microsoft had it, but it's really, and this brings me to my criticism that I have with Microsoft. It's like, do they know how to make a game? Like, do they know the like, do they know what the gamers want? Like, they greenlit this. They put this thing through. You know, they have all the money in the world. They bought them a new studio. They probably gave them all new Windows 10 PCs. You know, yeah, and I know Ori had some technical issues too. Again, is this because it's on so many devices that they're not optimizing this game on the consoles and it's why it's shaky launches? I don't know. But again, we have this question of quality control. And again, looking at the Bleeding Edge review, sorry, I went back on it here. But looking at the Bleeding Edge review, it basically, it's like, again, at launch, it's bare bones. Where did we hear this before? Like, why is it seem that, and they're going to add a fighter, I think this guy, the one fighter, Miko the Dolphin. See, like, the thing is why is Microsoft, like, making this kind of MO about launching games in Game Pass from their first-party studios that either have a lot of microtransactions, they're still trying to figure it out, like with Gears multiplayer, with the Nasha. Now they're changing the Nasha reload and still tweaking it. Sea of Thieves launched just like this. It was, wow, it's a shell of a game that doesn't have a lot of stuff with content, and maybe it gets better. We got the same thing here, like this game. Like, this game is basically the same type of MO, again, from Microsoft Xbox Game Studios. Bleeding Edge is fundamentally a fun experience, but it's a tad bland. And at launch, it feels bare bones, to put it lightly. Why is Microsoft continuing to release games in Game Pass that are half-baked? Like, it's not broken, technically broken, but why are these games half-baked? Is it because they figure just dump it in Game Pass? Like, let me ask you something, Grinders. And honestly, in the chat, let me ask you something. Okay? Because this is something that I was thinking about. If Bleeding Edge was a $40, $39.99 retail game, you hear this question. If this was a $39.99 retail game coming from Microsoft Studios, having a physical and digital launch, Game Pass did not exist, or it was not going in Game Pass, do you think that Microsoft and Xbox Game Studios would be much more critical on how the game is received at launch and make sure that it has enough content to warrant a physical purchase or a digital purchase of $39.99? Like, do you think that Game Pass is a safety net where they could send in games hot, where they still need content, they still don't have a character, they still don't have like a bunch of maps? Like Crackdown 3, would have that released as is if Game Pass didn't exist, with 2 game modes and 3 maps? Would Crackdown 3 exist? Would Sea of Thieves launch with 3 fetch quest type missions and no progression system? Would these games launch? Would State of Decay 2, with all the bugs that it had, launch if Game Pass did not exist? Is Game Pass a safety net? Look at the glitches that Gears had. You know, with unlocking content, unlocking progression during your campaign, not saving. Like, do you think their games would be much more polished and much more aware, self-aware of the games not having content or enough to sustain a purchase, to warrant a purchase? Whereas Game Pass, it is basically a safety net for them just to kind of put it in there and figure it out as we go while you guys pay $10 or $15 a month. Because that's what it seems like for the last 3 years, right? I don't know. Chat, do you guys, Grinders, what do you think? Do you think that Game Pass is a safety net? Because it's kind of looking that way. Transformers G totally hit the button. Well, you can't continue like this. Exactly. Because already outlets are calling your first party games Game Pass filler. Like, they're calling it out for what it is. And it says Game Pass filler at best. Those things don't add value to your service. That doesn't have people want to subscribe. Like, Bleeding Edge doing what it's doing right now is not increasing your Game Pass subscribers. Sam Ash says, if Dollar Tree didn't exist, these games would be polished and more
I'd buy that for $1.
complete. Game Pass is more like a detriment than a great deal, Transformers says. Social G says they're perfecting their games for a service model. But you know what games as a service? See, when I think games as a service is that you give me a pretty dope-ass game that, like say, Rocket League, right? And then you continue to add content, which is a bonus to the game. It's not trying to fix a broken game or fix a game that's lacking. The game, for what it is at launch, warrants your attention, like Apex Legends. That warranted your attention. That's a free-to-play game with a Game Pass model, with a model, right? A service model. But the game is competent on its own right. Fortnite. It's the examples of these games are competent on their own right. They stand on their own. They're a solid 8. They hook you. Then the services, we're going to add more features, more content, seasons, things like that. That's the games as a service to be a success. You don't release a half-baked game and go, the other half is going to come while we figure it out. And the game just gets trashed at launch with low scores. And then you go, I'll come back in a year when they add about 4 more characters and 10 more maps and they added some variety to the Who's coming back? You have one chance to make a first impression. If the game is going to be trash, like, look at Sea of Thieves, how much they added to Sea of Thieves. But nobody's going back and re-review it. You know? The game was hit what it was. And it's like, hey, I might come back to it. You really lose the sustainability of a game. And why do we have this consistent motif with Xbox Game Studios games? I'm not talking about Ori, I'm not talking about Cuphead. I'm talking about stories from their Game Pass studios. Their newly acquired studios, such as Ninja Theory. I'm not giving them Obsidian credit of Outer Worlds. Everybody likes to throw Outer Worlds as a Microsoft game. It's not. Microsoft had nothing to do with Outer Worlds. We will see. Microsoft had nothing to do with Hellblade. We will see. But Ninja Theory, the first one that Microsoft publishes, is bleeding edge. Game wasn't well received with the visuals, with the way it looked very slow. The beta, people said, make it faster, make it faster. They didn't. And I guarantee you, I'll give you probably 4 or 5 months, maybe right before the Series X launch or something like that. They'll add speed boosts or something like that to it and make it a faster game, I'm sure. But, what's up, Cyber? How you doing, man? Exactly. So it says, the game's a free-to-play model. Now, guys, I'm going to show you one more thing that took off on Twitter today. Then I'll tell you about the Twitter. And then, so anyway, back to the whole thing. So what happened was I go, it's a shame. Yeah, exactly, Transformers G. Yeah, Gears 5 multiplayer is dead. Open world single player, empty copy-paste side missions. Halo Infinite is next, right? What is that going to be? So what I posted today was I said that, I had to do my slander because I called these booty games, right? I was like, these booty games aren't turning heads. Like, these type of games don't make people want to subscribe, don't make people want to play. No, they're just like, it's fun with friends. Like, and that's what I said. And I said, shame Ninja Theory came off an award-winning Hellblade to being called Game Pass filler per Eurogamer. And I said this on the podcast. I said, these games, and this is the most frustrating part. That's why when people just go, it's trash, it's not trash. These games have potential if there is more of a budget and if there's more effort and faith from Microsoft Studios rather than just getting it out for Game Pass. And then what I did was I attached that video that you hear here, right?
That we are looking for from recently, which game that we are
from
looking
Booty.
for from the studios that we have acquired recently, which are, they're not going to be 90-hour AAA games, but what they are going to be are things that are super well crafted that will have as close to AAA production values as we get, but we're going to scope them so that they can be done well by a smaller studio. So I think.
So, you've heard that here tons before. I posted that. Well, then, shout out to J-Dub. He went into that interview, took the video, and then goes, they're never making AAA games. From Booty, And that started the shitstorm on Twitter. He went and took that interview and said, and then what happened was that then he just said, then I followed it up with the other line that we have. And the fact is that he says, well, why are you trying to do a smaller teams and making not full, big-blown AAA games, maybe smaller games and getting close to AAA production? Like, that doesn't sound like they're taking Ninja Theory and turning them into a 200-person studio and say, you're going to be the next 343. No, it says, hey, Ninja Theory, you're 87, 90 people. Let's break you up into groups of 15 and do passion projects, and, we'll see how much polish we can get out of you. And then I wrote, like, well, why, right? And then the following statement was exactly what, why? Why do we think? And, so he wrote this. He says this. So why?
Said, hey, if we were to acquire Ninja Theory and they were to just continue shipping games of the quality and scope of Hellblade, would we consider that a success? And the answer is yes. And I think that where that helps our strategy is when you think about something like Game Pass, where people are subscribing and they really want to know that there's, hey, what's next? I'm going to play this. What's coming up? Those kinds of games are great. And they're a case of, hey.
And then he says that, as you know, these will be in between our AAA games. And people are assuming like AAA. But if you listen to what he's saying, and we broke this down so many times on this channel, he's saying that all the studios they acquired. He didn't say a couple of studios. He didn't say a few of them or several. He says the studios we have recently acquired are not making 90-hour AAA games. Instead, they're making smaller team focused games that get close to AAA as we can get, but they're going to be done by smaller teams. And if you listen to Ninja Theory's interview, they still want to make AA games when they introduced Project Mara and they talked about Hellblade 2. And what he says is Hellblade 2, if they just make whatever the scope and focus was of Hellblade 1, which was a $30, 8-hour game, then they will consider that a success. So that tells me when I see Hellblade 2, when I see Hellblade 2, I'm not thinking that's going to be their God of War, right? That's not going to, they're not taking Hellblade 1, 2 and turning it into a 343 Halo. They're taking Hellblade 2 is probably going to be an 8 to 10 hour game. Maybe they'll refine the combat and maybe add a couple of decision-making puzzles, some decision-making, and call it a day and ship it into Game Pass. But there are people that believe that all these studios, the 15 that they acquired, are making games equivalent to what Nintendo Studios and Sony Studios. Hell, they're not even making games equivalent to what Coalition and 343 and Turn 10 are making. These guys were brought on, you see it. Sony buys Insomniac to make Spider-Man, which is AAA, and then Microsoft buys a bunch of indie to AA studios to make, and then to break them up into smaller groups to make games for Game Pass. So when he says in between AAA, he's referring to Halo, Gears, and Forza. Maybe somebody's making Perfect Dark. Maybe somebody's making Fable. Worst Kept Secret Fable, maybe. But I'm telling you right now, guys, that's not enough. You can't have the three and then just add a couple, 1 and 2. Like, here's a Fable. Like, these people believing that these AAA games are taking time. When he made that interview back last year, these games, they're not working on AAA games. A majority of their studios are not making the bangers that you say we're waiting for. And you want to know what? If they are, then we all win. And they come out at E3 and they go, guys, Perfect Dark, Fable, Conquer, boom, 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 big games, all coming to Game Pass, and blow the roof off, then we win, right? But all I'm saying is what you see right now and the reports that they are doing, the interviews that they are doing, everything they've just said, and none of that stuff leads with the focus on a Game Pass $10 a month. Why would you spend billions of dollars on a huge game and dump it into Game Pass if it doesn't have episodic content, if it doesn't have huge microtransactions? These are the kind of tropes that you got to put in a game to compensate for the big budget title. You're not going to take a blockbuster movie and put it in a service. You're not going to make your money back. And exactly, it's being cheap. It's low investment. They bought a smaller studios. Like, it wasn't even like they bought like a 343 or they bought like a Bungie. And they said, hey, Bungie, we bought you. We want to split you up into 3 teams and make like double the AAA games. They didn't buy a studio the size of Bungie. They didn't buy a studio the size of Insomniac. They bought they bought The Collective. They bought In Exile. They bought, who else was that other one? Double Fine, who went like indie. They bought small studios and they want to break them down to even smaller to make games in quantity for Game Pass. I'm sorry to say it. Like, I'm sorry to put that out there again. But, you know, and if I'm wrong, okay, I'm glad. I'm wrong. I had the bangers. But you gotta have head-turning games in order to promote your service and to sell a console. And you gotta sell your console because you gotta have your system out there to be competitive so that you get the same games that Sony gets. You don't get timed exclusives taken away from you. You don't get games that just don't show up because they're from Japan. You got to make yourself apparent. You got to make yourself loud. You got to make yourself, hey, remember me? Put my games on it. And, you know, I even, later in that interview, he talks about Halo and says that, you know, they thought that Halo 5 was too flashy and that they went more with a cleaner look for Halo Infinite and it's more open. Not open world, because he says then you get these tropes, but he says a more open game, but he said it's very clean because they thought Halo 5 was too noisy, too much going on. Dude. They better not have scaled Halo Infinite back. Because if Halo messes up, that's the last straw. We can't deal with that.
Another one, and another one, and another
We can't.
one, and another one.
So, like, he goes on to say that in that interview. But the thing is just, I just see these tropes of these games, which are not trash, okay? I know there's a lot of real Sony guys that just want to just dump on these games. You know, it's not like the game is not trash. The frustration is that it has potential, but it needed more time in the oven. It needed more vision. It needed more money. Like, think about it. And somebody said, well, somebody tweeted to me saying, like, oh, you would rather this game them add more people to it and then take another year or two of development? And I was like, if it made it a game that was better received and maybe even have a potential for a sequel, yeah. Why were they so quick to rush this out? Because of Game Pass? Because they had a bunch of people paying $15 a month going, I don't want to play old games that I bought already that didn't do well in market, like third-party games. I'm here for the first-party Microsoft games. Like, why did they rush this out? I think about it. They got great character design. Imagine if they added more maps, more interaction, more depth. Have take some elements of For Honor where you have a heavy attack, a light attack, maybe openings of weak points, things like that. Better transversal, better characters that take advantage of things in the environment, more progression where you could unlock skills, unlock different types of weapons, different types of attacks. Think about all the different varieties you can add, not just skins and different boards, but actually different things to level up, a la Call of Duty, where you actually get cooler things. And you have to balance that to make sure that somebody who's a level 50 doesn't dominate somebody who's a level 5. That's on the game development. That is something that you need to do. But Microsoft they go like this. What? Ship it. Game Pass it. Major Nelson tweet it out. Do it. Like, where's the grooming? Where's the Microsoft person that has the vision to go, that's a great idea. Let's develop that thing. Let's make people play this game and want Bleeding Edge 2. Let's the people want to play Crackdown 3 and really fall in love with the city and the destruction that we introduced and want and wait for Crackdown 4. They didn't do that. Instead, they sent these games out to die. It's fun with friends. 68. It's a Game Pass filler game. Nobody's going to check it out. You sent this game out to die. Now, when this game, in another 3 weeks, it's kind of dead, and you're going to be like, is anybody going to even want Bleeding Edge 2? The sequel? Like, you're killing franchises by rushing them into Game Pass because they lack features. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. You had betas, closed betas for so long, and you just sent that out there. And then you just gently groomed it for over 2 years. What is this model of shipping broken-ass, stupid games? And not having the vision to fix. Yeah, Crackdown 3. The Transformers. Like, honestly, Grinders, like, really? Did Crackdown 3, like, reinvigorate the franchise? Did Crackdown 3, is anybody going to say, if Microsoft announces Crackdown 4, I think people will boo them. They'll be like, oh, nobody wants that. That's what they did to a franchise. They're killing their franchises. They're making people not want to play these games. You think how State of Decay 2 launched? You think that people are hyped up for State of Decay 3? No, it's going to be I got to wait and see what State of Decay 3 turns out to be. And right, Glenza, Game Pass is an excuse to let devs take it easy, probably. And that's right, Social. It's sad because they spent years to try to show that they can make some games, and they were cool, right? Cool kids on the block. But you're right. Microsoft is not a gaming company, nor are they an entertainment company. That's why they don't understand what the end user wants. Like, that's why Sony can make a trailer and make you want a game. They make movie trailers. They make game trailers. They know what kind of game and the way to market it. And I'm going to show you something else, right? So, hot off the presses today, Nintendo stealth drops a friggin' Nintendo Direct, right? So, watch this. Okay? Just watch this, grinders. Watch this thing. Right? So here, we're going to go full. Watch this.
Oh, so you're the ultimate ninja, are you?
Look at this.
Well then, prove it in battle. As one of 8 players, you must earn the most points to claim victory. Sprint across stages. And show off your gum ninjutsu like only you can.
Look at the transversal. Melee combat.
By chewing ninja gum, you can dash at high speeds. Disguise yourself. And wield an arsenal of skills. And speaking of arsenals, from heavy-hitting hammers to fast and flashy katanas to tactical tricked-out yo-yos, your choice of equipment could mean the difference between domination and defeat. Ninjas thrive in clans, so cement your supremacy in 4-on-4 team battles that prove ninjas are
This is
most
basically
clever
where Bleeding
when
Edge
they
could have
work
been.
Together.
But look
When
how
your efforts
exciting
end
this
in
is.
gummy
Look, you got a
disaster,
super.
or prove
There's
you're
somebody's
the master.
media strike.
When Ninja
Now hear this.
starts up on Nintendo Switch May 27th. And hey, it's free to play too.
What? Did you see that? Did you see that? Like this video, share it out. Did you see that? Ninja game. It's a melee-focused combat with hotkeys and all that other stuff. And look, it has weapon variety. You could choose loadouts for your characters. Bleeding Edge don't have that. And then you're like, wow, this game's looking intriguing. And then at the end they go, oh, hey, and it's free to play. Excuse me, what? Bleeding Edge is $30. But look how that game was featured. And then you look at how Bleeding Edge launched and how Bleeding Edge was presented. It was slow, empty maps, here's some characters, passion project. They damage controlled it when they announced that at E3. Oh, it's just me and a couple of people. Passion project. It was in development before they bought us. Like, they're already damage controlling it before the game even launched. Suspicion, you think?
You bastards! You vicious, heartless bastards!
That game comes out May 27th. I had no clue it existed. It comes out in 2 months. Free to play. Looks exciting. I thought it was an expansion to Splatoon. I was like, whoa, wait a second. What is this game? And I'm like, see, it doesn't have to be bleeding. It doesn't have to be like graphically, like, you know, and like there's a balance, right? Nintendo don't have a balance. Nintendo, that's all their games, right? But the thing is just look at for what it is. They're the same type of game, right? They're melee focused combat, arena combat fighting. And they had more depth than that with, now who knows what kind of microtransactions they'll have. But they got different, like Naruto. Look at the transversal. They're running up buildings. They're diving. They're fighting in the air. They have an air thing. Like, there's a lot more transversal things that Bleeding Edge could have used. And then the kicker in the whole thing is that it's a free-to-play game over a $30 game. It's insane, man. I don't know. Somebody got to tap them on their shoulders and say, like, who's the visionary here? Is it Phil? Because ever since Phil took over, I think the games and the game's quality has turned to shit. Phil might be a smooth talker with his hashtag Philness and talking, whining and dining and hashtag no crunch and, flying to Japan to grab some sushi and having some sort of Japanese developer come to E3. Like, he's a smooth talker and has his vision, and he's real confident about clouds and all that other bullshit. But when it comes to games, they don't show confidence. They don't show, like, polish that you expect from a first-party studio. And Phil says our quality has to improve. He said it at the Game Awards 2 years ago. Oh, yeah, our quality we could be better. Since we can be better, you shipped Crackdown 3, Gears 5, and this. And look what you did to Gears 5, man. I have diehard Gears friends in my group chat, and they can't stand the tweaks and bullshit that they've been doing to Gears 5. They can't figure it out. Rod took the code with them. I don't know. And you got Ninja Theory. This is the thing. This is me. If I purchased Ninja Theory, it's Herman Ness. Triple H, Herman Hunts. Triple H. And who knows what that wonky dude guy has. But guess what? Booty, it's Booty versus Triple H. Booty did Minecraft. Triple H did Horizon Zero Dawn. Let's see. Let's see if he has the eye. The eye of the tiger. But the thing is that it frustrates me because these games could be something if Microsoft still had the quality. That's the thing that frustrates me. I'm not just coming out here and putting on a Sony pony hat or just being like deaf to what's going on and just being like, game is trash. It's Microsoft's trash. Like, the thing is that Microsoft doesn't know how to make quality games. They're still figuring out the Nasher. They're adding Coltrane to the game for $5 because he has ultimates to use in game modes that nobody plays. That Capture the Flag looks kind of cool. We'll see how that turns out. But they put skins of characters that were free in other games, and now you got to pay $5 for them because they had to give them ultimates because they happen to make 2 game modes where these people have special abilities. Why? To sell them. Because you can't sell $5 skins, right? I guess. So they got to make them worthwhile, so they gave them ultimates. You added Coltrane in March. He's one of the most revered characters in the whole game. He should have been there at launch. Instead, we got 5 Terminators. I don't know. But all I know is I see a motif of games coming out where it's like, they're not ready for prime time. Game Pass fella. Lack of services. Broken at launch. No matchmaking with friends. Tons of microtransactions. Ranking systems don't work. Progress in your game don't work. Progression in these games. You think if you have somebody doing a subscription, you would put a wonderful mode in there in multiplayer that makes people want to play and rank up and progress and get cool unlocks and get things. Gears, they put them all behind paywalls. They gave you banners and flags as unlockable progression. Who the hell is doing that? There was no progression in Sea of Thieves, so little Timmy, who got his Xbox on Christmas, could play it. and not feel bad that he's getting attacked by PC dudes, which they finally abandoned the crossplay after 2 years of people saying the PC dudes are messing us up. We don't want crossplay. Make it an option. 2 years it took them. It's just that, again, we come to quality. Sorry, stream drop for Phil Ness came over. Yeah, Phil always likes to drop it.
I'd buy that for $1.
You don't want to use $1? Well, Phil's
We're
still.
really focusing first on what it means to play these games on your phone. So when we thought about how can we get as many people playing on a phone as possible.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bleeding Edge eventually makes its way to the Switch. I wouldn't be surprised. And maybe adopt the free-to-play model or they charge. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bleeding Edge goes to the Switch. But, you know, the thing is that, yeah, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if it's Phil. I don't know who the person is. You know? Like, who's the person at Sony that said, hey, we want them to make Spider-Man? Was it Yoshida? You know, who's the people that go, hey, that Predator game looks awesome. I want that on my platform. Now, Predator comes out tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming that. I played that at PAX, okay? Now, that's a $40 game, right? From what I saw, there's a lot of loadouts. There's a lot of depth to that game. There's a lot of stuff. So we'll see now. Now that I have abilities, so we'll see what this beta is like tomorrow and see how that Predator is. But from what I played and what I saw my friends play and my cousin and what we played, we had fun with Predator. We were laughing and screaming and yelling, and people just playing the game were doing the same thing. And it looks great. And that's going to be a surprise that a lot of people are going to see. They're like, whoa. Now, I'm not saying that Predator is AAA. Predator's not God of War. Okay? And that's another thing. Like, people just, this the definition of AAA. What's AAA? State of Decay, they said AAA all the way, right? State of Decay 2, and everyone's like, well, it's $30. That's not AAA. Listen, you could define AAA any way that you want. But if you go, State of Decay 2 is on the same level as Halo 5, you don't have to be a genius to realize what's what. Predator is not God of War. Predator is not Uncharted. So when you go, oh, well, that's AAA, you know, Hellblade's AAA. It's only 8 hours, but it's AAA. Hellblade was an experiment. It was a great game for what it was. I think if Hellblade was $60, I don't know if it would have received as many rewards and stuff as it did. It might have got recognized, but I think the price point and the quality of game for the price that they were getting was one of the reasons why Hellblade took off the way it did. And the creative stuff that they did. I thought it was great. Oh, that sounds cool, Transformers G. I know you could blow off the Predator's mask and he loses his heat vision and he loses his aim down sights. I know when you shoot him it bleeds and he leaves all his blood on there, you can track him in the woods. But that would be cool. Copy the dialogue of soldiers and saying in the chat. That would be pretty cool. Damn. That's some online feature shit right there. That's some next gen online. But that's it. I'm not saying Predator. Oh man, Predator doesn't be. But I'm saying for a $40 game, let's see what the depth is. Exactly. It is AA. It is. AAA to me is Halo, God of War, Zelda, Mario, Uncharted, Last of Us 2. Like, you know? Like, there's a different level of game. You know, quadruple A, whatever you want. But let's see how in depth. And that's the thing. It's depth. It's not necessarily price. But it's depth because you want to get value for your game. You don't want to put the game in and be like, what did I just spend my money on, man? Like, you know, I got a taste of what the game has to offer in 15 minutes, and I just spent $40 on this. Oh, man. Like, you know, it's not, oh, that's all you can do in it? Okay. Like, like 2 examples I'm gonna give you, and you've seen them on this channel. You had Hunt the Showdown. It's a $40 game made by Crytek. That game has tons of depth and a huge learning curve. And it pulls you into the game because as you're leveling up, you're unlocking weapons and bullets, different types of the things that change the gameplay. There's different strategies based on the randomization of events and what kind of creatures are on the map. And there's only one map. But then there's the human element where they're hunting you down. But there's balance. There's permadeath. There's things in that game that make you want to play and add value to my $40 I spent on it. Another game, SpellBreak. You've seen it on this channel. I'm going to stream it now. So guys, share this video, and please stop following me over on what Grinds My Gears 7780 over on Twitch, because I'm gonna put some gameplay over there, and maybe I'll do some highlights and put them on this channel. I like to keep my show here, but the gameplay, I definitely want to grow my Twitch channel, and I'm trying to get the 50 followers and stuff like that. So like that, I got my soundboard, I got the high-tech setup, man, and I will add commentary there with those games, man, because that's another thing. When I stream games, I like to add some flair to these games. Like, I don't just want to sit there and you stare at my face. Like, I want to add a little bit of commentary to it, so it will be entertaining. I will make it entertaining. So definitely check me out over on the Twitch, because Mixer's dead. You want to talk about that? Mixer done. It done. Everybody's leaving Mixer. The Mixer gang turned into the Twitch gang. Mixer is done. I know, Social. Let's read Social's comment. I'm talking about quality devs and quality studios. You get what you pay for. Amen to that one. Amen to that one.
I'd buy that for
Xbox bought average to good studios, so games are going to be average to good. You get what you pay for. Yeah. But it's just the thing that amazes me is that all of a sudden people think like they bought Compulsion, who made We Happy Few, which was not a great game. And people just think because they're under Microsoft's umbrella that now they're just going to be this AAA studio and pumping out a banger. It's going to take time. If Microsoft even wants that from the studios, because it sounds like from Booty saying they don't even want that kind of content. They did not buy Ninja Theory to turn them into a Bungie. They bought Ninja Theory for what they can do with small groups of people, for content that was quantity for their service, and hopefully they get some quality out of it. It's just a shame, and this is the last point I'll make about the Ninja Theory thing, that they come off Twitch Nest. Oh yeah, Twitch Nest. They come off of, yeah, the link is in the description. They come off, right, of having Ninja Theory, having awards, Mila Jerkins winning awards for acting and sounds design and winning all this stuff. And Ninja Theory got like so much recognition for Hellblade that they caught Microsoft's eye, and Microsoft bought them. And then you come out with your first game under the new publisher. I don't give a shit if it's in development, was in development, it was in the trash, it was in the toilet. Phil took a dump at their headquarters and found this game in the trash. I don't care where it was, but Microsoft put their money to publish this game for Game Pass. And you go from winning awards and having all this success with Ninja Theory, becoming a very respected studio, to saying that it's Game Pass filler at best. That's your next game that from the most anticipated Ninja Theory, the studio. Like, I don't care about the excuses it's made by the B team, it's made by Passion Project. It's Ninja Theory and Xbox together. And they got a game that's sitting at a 70 right now. Who knows? With 4 reviews, no marketing. And the game comes out and it says that it's Game Pass filler at best. How the hell did you go from that? Like, why would you give that identity to Ninja Theory? as Microsoft Game Studios. It was a well-respected studio that probably was your biggest get besides Obsidian. And Obsidian came in hot with Wilder Worlds. But Ninja Theory put themselves on the map as a respected studio since they were kind of flew under the radar and they finally hit big with Hellblade and what they did with that game. With the tech and the acting and the sound. And you take Ninja Theory, who has that high level right now of hype, and now you bought them with Microsoft's money, and you say, guys, you know what? Let's launch. You're doing more damage to Ninja Theory by having them release a game that's really half-baked and just called Game Pass filler. That really doesn't make people anticipate their next game. Like I don't like. I know it's Hellblade 2, so obviously Hellblade fans are going to be anticipating it. But it's just not a good story for the studios. For the studio, if you're trying to build like yourself of, hey, like these are not just names. These are Xbox studios, and we demand quality. Why would you put your studio in that position? I wouldn't. I would say, you know what? Let's take some time. That's a great concept of Bleeding Edge. I love the character design. I think that's really interesting. Let's add some stuff to it. Let's add some this. Let's do a little bit of this. Let's do this. Let's add some depth. Let's do this. Let's do that. Hey, you want to know what? Let's throw some of our IP in there. You know what? Put somebody, put Raven. Put somebody from Killer Instinct in it. That would be cool. Put somebody from Killer Instinct. Oh, you know what? Get another IP. Let's put some special IP. Let's get another model. Let's get I don't know, somebody else from let's get one of our third-party friends. Let's get one from Nintendo. Let's get another character. We gave them Banjo. Maybe they could give us somebody to put in Bleeding Edge. Let's have some fun. Let's put some cameos in there. Let's flesh this game out. Let's add more attack buttons. Let's add a parry system. Let's give it a little bit of depth where not this simplistic just mash the attack button and just spam everything and be slow as hell. Let's give it a year or two. Let's launch it maybe later this year, with the X, or maybe next spring, and when this game could really do something. Like, where's that? That's what Phil should be saying to Ninja Theory. Not ship it in Game Pass. Go. Comes in hot. Only 4 maps and 11 characters and 2 game modes. We'll fix it. We're listening to you. Like, and the thing is like, as an Xbox fan, you're gonna attack me for what I just said? Is that wrong? To ask for that or to want that? And you're satisfied with what you received? Put Conquer in it, damn it. Hell yeah. That's right, put Conquer in it. Hell yeah.
What do you mean I'm not an expert?
That's right, put Conquer in it.
And that's it. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Do something with it, right? Like, no, it's not. Don't ship it as Game Pass filler. Let's make something out of this game. Like, who says that's a bad thing to ask for? And I'm not an Xbox fan because I want better for a game. Therefore, you're defending the game in the state that it is in, and you accept that with your premium console and premium experiences, and then think that, oh, this sold you on next generation, that you're ready to drop another $500, $600 on a premium console for what? You're not going to probably get Bleeding Edge 2. What are they going to say? Well, Bleeding Edge now looks better and runs faster on your Series X. Like, are you going to try to resell me the game, the same game again? Like, it's just, it is like Stockholm Syndrome.
My ass hurts just watching this.
It is. You sell me premium products. 12 teraflops, Uzo Machismo. For subpar experiences with your software. Oh, but that Resident Evil's running at 4K. Yeah, 40 frames per second. A Potato is running it faster. Oh, but we're pushing 4K. Who gives a shit if it looks like a slideshow? Stuttering all over the place. And then know what the hypocrisy is? The hypocrisy is that they will accept that the game is running at a higher resolution in Resident Evil 3 and dropping frames to 40 frames per second. They're the same people that go, I need those 180 frames, 120 frames because the Series X has so many teraflops. If you were so sensitive to frame rate, that kind of shit in Resident Evil demo should piss you off. That should not be acceptable because it's running at a higher resolution, especially if you're one of those people that just can't wait to buy a Series X because it's going to give you better performance in games. Like, how can you expect better frame rates when you're getting the worst frame rates right now on the most powerful console? Oh, come on. What's up, Glorious? Ori's 4K. What stutters? But right, Glorious Kev. Glorious Kev's he's a PC gamer. He must be rolling when he sees all this bullshit about frame rates and resolution and teraflops and all that other crap. He is dying. He's just freaking rolling, man. I bet you, Kev, you don't even need friggin' cable. You just turn on Twitter and that's like you just grab the popcorn and watch this craziness go on. All of a sudden, console gamers are sensitive about frame rates. Who would have thought? If I was that sensitive about frame rates, I would buy a computer, which I have, and I will make sure that all my power would go directly into the frame rate. Because with a PC, you control the power. And a console, you don't. There will be 30 frames per second games. So stop saying, like, oh, they're going to target 120. Oh, yeah. What? In what? What is it, that game? What is it, friggin', like, some friggin', like, indie game? They're going to do, like, 120 frames with a pixel on the screen at 4K? I'm going to have ray tracing max settings. Oh, really? We saw it in my last video, guys. You saw the difference between 6 teraflops and 12 teraflops with the most graphically impressive game that Microsoft has in Gears 5. They zoomed in 400%. You still needed a magnifying glass and some drugs to figure out that there was a difference in the games. I know. How does Ori have frame drops? I don't know. But you saw the difference between 6 and 12. You think that it's the beast of a machine. You look at the difference of the textures, and it's like, yeah, he has a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow in this one. It's to do the extra shading underneath his chin. What? Dude, stop. I know, right? So anyway, off of the whole sorry, not sorry. So I'm sorry I brought it up, but I'm not sorry because it does piss me off. And the defense of these games, you should ask for better. This is not acceptable. You know, it's not. And I'm not saying Sony knocks it out of the park every single time. But I just feel like that Sony and even Nintendo, they have an eye and a quality standard that they put behind games that they put their name behind. And I feel like that Microsoft with Game Pass is not giving good reputation to its brand. And it's making Game Pass look like, you know, Crackle. Not even a premium stream, like not even a premium service. It's making it look like friggin' Crackle. Yeah, but we'll put a couple of AAA games in there. We'll put a couple of games in there that didn't do well on the market. You know, here you go. Here's you know, here's the Devil May Cry. It didn't sell as much. We'll put it in there. Here's The Witcher from years ago, and you know, here's a bunch of indie games, and and here's our games. They still need work on them, but we're just gonna put them in Game Pass. Like, you know, like. And Game Pass is turning into just like, yeah, it's a nice to have, it's a cool to have, but it's not a need to have. Feel.
I gotta pay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I just feel like, you know, like that, just that Nintendo game that I just showed. That's basically like Bleeding Edge. Like who at Nintendo found that game and said, I want this game free to play on my console? And another game. So, exactly, Kev. You don't buy the $500 console for indies and old games, right? But you buy it for a service that all it does is do that. And not only it makes you old games, and it's fodder pass, exactly. And games like Bleeding Edge launching it and saying that it's Game Pass filler at best from them, and just saying that it's a shell of a game, it needs more content, that does not help the narrative of Game Pass at all. So let's talk about some game that's actually interesting. So I picked up SpellBreak, okay? Now this game is on PC and on PlayStation 4. It was announced at the Game Awards. It looks like Fortnite, and I'll show a little bit of this, but I'm gonna go stream it now on Twitch. But let me go to my YouTube just to show you a little bit of what this game is. Oh man. Next Gen is talking about Booty doubling down on AA. Oh man, that video clip was so long ago. I've been using it as a sound clip for the longest time. But where is it? Here we go. So here, let me show you this game here. So this is the game that I picked up. It was called SpellBreak. So it's basically like Fortnite, but it's with mages, right? And I don't know, like I was intrigued by it when they showed it at over at the Game Awards, and it's not free to play. And it actually, the thing that kept making me not want to do it is because you only could buy it from the Founders Edition, which is $49.99. Which I'm like, oh, for that's a little much. You get $35 in store credit and things like that. So it's like a Founders Edition, like early access, and it just started in beta in March. But other than playing it, it's hard. It's a hard game to play. But I tell you, the battles. So like it controls like Oblivion in the sense that you have a gauntlet with your right trigger that has a short and a big burst, and you have the left gauntlets that you pick up around the map, Fortnite style, like with this, and it's all mages, and then you get ruins in the middle help you with transversal. So this one here I had was flying. So basically I was like Superman. So I'll have a burst where I'll just fly. There's teleporting, there's slowing down time, there's like reverse time. Those circles right there, this thing that I go to right now, those are like the big treasure chests. They're like airdrops, right? And you got to wait for them. And as the circle closes, you level up and get better abilities. So like you're very powerful mages by the time you get there. So, the game is pretty different. It's different. I like the transversal. It's not very slow. Like you die real quick and you're back out at the main menu and stuff like that. But this is my flame wall. And what's cool is that you can use magic together. So like if you could burst toxic stuff with your fire. You could use a wind gauntlet and throw a tornado and then shoot a fireball, and then basically it turns the tornado into a fire tornado. See, I blow up his thing there. Actually, I got hurt there. But and then there's also ruins over here where this increases your ability, your body, mind, and spirit. And speed, and you get different boots and armor and stuff like that. But yeah, see, I'm flying there and I'm dropping my wall of flame there. I'm trying to find the guy and then just drop a wall of flame on him. And it's a little laggy. It's an early beta and stuff like that, but they're going to add more stuff, more gauntlets. There's just tons of content in it. And there's 6 different classes. There's pyromancers, there's ice, there's wind, there's toxic, and everybody has like their powerful gauntlet powers and things like that. And then you could even like with this one, as I level up to like level 2, when I launch basically a flame wall, I could jump into the flame wall and it actually make me propel forward, which is pretty cool. So it gives me more transversal. But let me just fast forward to this friggin' battle that took place. My God, like this. Is this the one? So this is a teams of 3, and you can see it's not like 100 people. It's like only like 25, but it's a huge world. But the battles, like here, this turns into a battle. So this is my team, and that's cool. That's like the ice thing. They like skate and jump. So there's like an ice guy, and This guy, the boulder, got caught inside the tornado and flew around. I just threw a boulder because I got the ground on my second gauntlet. But, man, this is, like, insane. Right? So I fly up. This is, like, crazy. Like, this. It was just chaos. There's magic going all over the place. It is insane. There's toxic. There's flames. Yo. I don't know. It's something different. I'm not a huge Fortnite fan, but, like, Battle Royale type fan. But, I like the cool things to do with Battle Royale. And I just thought this was interesting. So I jumped in on it. That's the ground power for that one. And then I got killed. There's hovering and stuff like that. But it's just a mage battle Fortnite. And it's hard. So, but it's fun, though. It was pretty fun. It's just crazy. And you feel like a badass just flying around and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm going to go stream that today. But, let me get back to this thing. Get back to the chat. But follow me over. Let me get back to the chat here. Oh, Warframe. Let's see. Xbox, as Gloria says, Xbox is literally getting what the bots used to call PC shovelware. Warframe is my favorite free-to-play with awesome folk. Warframe is not for me. Yeah, I tried Warframe. Orange Box, oh my god, that was awesome. That game was running on a PlayStation. That wasn't running on an Xbox. I don't think it's on Xbox yet. They're starting with PlayStation and PS and PC for that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Transformers G says, "Hey Jez, do you think Half-Life Alyx will come to the PSVR? It could be cool as a." Yeah, I don't think it's coming to PSVR anytime soon. But what I have to say is the fact that PSVR exists, there is a chance that it will come to PSVR if Valve decides to do it. But again, Valve, they're more PC-centric. Maybe it'll port over there, but I'm sure that's going to live and try to sell a bunch of VR headsets and Steam and all that other stuff. They're going to keep it there for a time being. But that's why Sony developing like Astrobot, Blood and Truth, Sony putting that money in VR, like I think as long as you're part of the conversation, that's great for me. And the fact that a game like that comes out, it really gives more life and stuff, and it probably will go to VR. Like I saw a lot of PC games that I played on the Vive port over to the VR in a couple of years, a year or so. So there's a chance. Phil says nobody's asking for it. He took Xbox out of the whole equation. So I thought that was foolish on his part. But just to say, hey, Xbox, we're not doing it. And then all of a sudden, to turn around and say, you're going to do it? Come on. Oh, here we go. You got it. You got it right now.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
That's right. Arnold said it right there. But I'm going to see. So I wanted to show a bit of SpellBreak. I'm probably going to stream that. Or I'm going to stream some Gears 5 talking all that shit. I want to see that Phil Ness show up in Gears 5. If Kev I don't know if Kev's going to jump on Gears 5, but maybe Merc might do it. I don't know. I got to see what he's doing. But definitely, guys, jump on to What Grinds My Gears 7780 over on Twitch. And we can continue the conversation over there with some gameplay. Some action-packed gameplay.
Who is your daddy?
That's right. I'll be saying that a lot. And
Put that cookie down now!
exactly. Kevin's happy. He puts his games on Steam. Phil puts his games on Steam, so he's get ready.
Now, whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we don't want you. You're still on the clock, man. But anyway, everybody, stay safe out there. I can't play my Benny Hill anymore because YouTube comes after me. So, and I can't play my Glorious either, Kev. I wanted to play when you come in. WWE comes after me. They need the money. They're struggling right now. They're hurt. They're hurt right now. So, they're coming after me. But I could always say,
I'd buy that for $1.
and I could always have Phil Ness.
Focusing first on what it means to play these
I'm
games
trying
on
to
your phone.
use
So we
the
thought, how can we get as many
phone!
people
That's right.
playing
And
on
we
the
got
phone?
our Mr.
It's time to
T.
quit jammering before I start hammering.
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
Amen to that one. To others people that, that say Bleeding Edge is it. Nothing. They don't want anything better. You know what?
You want to spend the rest of your life with your head up your ass? Be my guest.
That's what I have to say.
My ass hurts just watching this.
And that's what I got to say, too. And
I don't play this game.
that's pretty much what's going down. But anyway, guys, thank you. We'll continue this conversation. Jump over to What Grinds My Gears. And if you can't do it tonight, What Grinds My Gears 7780 on Twitch. Just hit the follow button so you know when I go live over there with some gameplay. I buy everything. I play everything, guys. So I'll let you know what's good, what's bad, what I like, what I don't like, and take it as it is. But thank you again, Grinders. Thank you again, Grinders.
Keep it up, you'll be carrying your face home in a doggy bag.
Oh, snap. Oh, sup.
Never give up. Never surrender.
And one more thing.
Sir, do we get to win this time?
You would need 3 promotions to get to be an asshole.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I want to thank you again. Enjoy Bleeding Edge if you're playing it.
I don't play this game.
And follow me over on the Twitch and on Twitter at Jez7780. Thank you, everybody. And again, Grinds is out.